Hey guys, man, I'm having trouble time recording this, but we're gonna get through this. It's about a magic mushroom, psilocybin containing mushroom report I just had experience last night. It was wild, it was trippy, it was all of that in between. It was a dream. It was a dream, matter of fact. So it was a couple days that led up to this. Y'all see that I've been off, not doing live for a while. I've been not letting things slip through the cracks and not letting the role just have too much presence, like Tai as a role. So in order for me to go on the journey that I wanted to kind of go on, or was attempted to go on, I wanted to not have any baggage. I wanted to not say, no, but I'm this, but I'm that, but I'm this, but I say this. So I love that the tie is staying fresh, that the tie stays fresh, because it wasn't that much attachments, but still I wanted to attach from a lot of things, from just watching any videos dealing with trips, even myself. I just wanted to have fresh thoughts. And also, I wasn't letting anything slip through the cracks. So if it was something that I didn't want to waste my time on, I just didn't waste my time on. Or things that I feel as I waste my time on sometimes, or feelings that I feel feelings that I feel as though I waste my time on, or that are a waste of time, I just didn't allow myself to fall into that. So controlling this vibe, or rolling with that vibe, and it was the voice in the back of my head giving me the advice. It was just me actually going with it. So take it as if instead of saying, man, I'm gonna turn right, you just turn right. And you're not even thinking about turning right, you're thinking about something else completely. But you have a sense that you did want to turn right, but it wasn't even a thought. It didn't even have to come down to words. It was just, this is what I'm doing. So that's how I've been in that automatic flight mode. And I was like, yo, this is comfortable. This is what I am. So I went back to that state so that I can work things out. And then go into this trip and really go out. So to fast forward back into this trip, I prepared some mushroom tea, cleaned the room out the morning of, and things like that, just to make sure everything was nice and neat and everything. And then I took them 3 in the morning last night, so it's still fresh in my mind. It's about 10 o'clock right now. But I made sure the spouse was all good and was able to have some nice pleasant dreams and all of that stuff. And then I said, all right, because I didn't want anything to interfere with this trip. So I said, we're going to go into this now. So then the thing that started interfering with the trip was myself. I started seeing myself conjuring. It was like a dualistic mind started coming into play. As soon as I started interacting with the mushroom, like just touching them to prepare the tea and stuff, I felt myself, a part of me, conjuring up YouTube videos, like to play another movie or play something and see that and like exist in that as the trip. And I was like, no, this is meant for me right now, to go for my story, to go fully for my story. And it seemed like a lot of things during that day was really stopping me, because at first I really wanted to do it in the woods, but then it was raining on and off, and there's other events that occurred, so I wound up doing it 3 in the morning and things like that. So I make the tea, I put inside the Darth Vader cup, I roll a couple L's up, and then I'm really like sitting, I'm really like saying, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna really go. And I had other voices of encouragement that seemed like it was leading breadcrumbs to lead me in this direction. So True Life, let's call Mr. Renzo, Mr. Rosano, I believe on Discord, just their thoughts started coming to my head of like when he said sit for an hour and don't do anything. So I felt myself dueling with that, wanting to put on TV and said, no, I'm gonna just be in silence now. I'm gonna be comfortable with the silence now, because I wanted to do it in silent darkness. I didn't want no music playing. I didn't want to have to get up. I didn't want to try anything. I just wanted to lay there and do nothing. I wanted to interact with the no thing. So I sat on the toilet as well for about 20 minutes. I said, I'm not getting up. I'm gonna sit here So the nothing, I don't gotta get up to use the bathroom, anything. I want my bowels, everything. I had a little pizza around 10 o'clock, and I've been fasting before that whole day. So I was really all of my intention was going into this trip. All of my intention was going into this, and I was seeing now how when I plot for adventures, things do plot coming away, but it's not something else trying to stop me. It's the flow, and I just have to flow around it. Because if I let that flow stop me, it's never going to happen. It'll be weeks or years before another trip occurs, and I'll get lost in the sauce. But in this way, I was able to stand my ground. That's what really was happening during this trip, being able to stand my ground. And being able to work through the world concepts that I have. Like, it's different ways I see of playing the game. And playing on different difficulties allows you to master different sets. And different challenges come at you depending on what difficulty you at. So I'm saying I'm on like extra hard right now. So the concepts, I have to be able to remember the button combinations and things like that. And that's what I was working on. I wasn't working on, all right, up, down, left, right, blah, blah. I was like, up, down, left, right, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Like, what would be a whole combination was just a word to me. That's how I was starting to operate. What it was a whole sentence was just a word to me. And I was operating the word instead of the sentence. So, the breadcrumbs too. What was leading me, because I told you I left away from the YouTube and stuff. I wasn't watching certain things, but True Life and 2 other YouTube channels, like 2 separate YouTube channels, just like my comment that I left on their channel a while ago. But it all happened on this day. And I was like, yo, these some breadcrumbs, like saying, all right, leading back to the mushroom and things like that. So I was like, all right, let's go. It was just some more encouragement. I'm just tying on how everything was flowing all together, connecting for me to give me a form of encouragement, of here they are on the side of me, encouragement, things like that as I go. And so I keep it real, legit. I sat on the floor and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I said, I don't know. So I said, I'm not going to go with this fear. I'm still just going to sit here. Because I waited 3 days or 2 days for this. 3 days actually after 12 o'clock. It was 3 o'clock. So I'm going to have patience and sit here with myself. I went to the gym and sauna earlier that day. So my body was real worked out. I had my yoga and everything all. So my body was just whew. So anything that I was left with, it was going to be just all in my head. That's what I wanted to be. That's what I wanted to occur. And good thing I actually, it was kind of working out. But I had a lot of fear trying to stop me from going into this trip. And again, it was other people's thoughts popping into my head of it was some guy that had said something about don't you think it's just traumatizing your brain and things like that? So I was like, no. Like, instead of just pushing the thoughts out of my head, since I seen they all just wanted to try to come up right there, I said, all right, come at me, bro, come at me. So I let the thoughts come at me, and then I said, no, this is what it is. No, this is what it is. So I was having those conversations with myself. And there was a lot of faded things that I can't remember during this trip, so it's gonna just tie, guys. Just think about these things. But I was saying this is what I had to do, because I was seeing how and there was other thoughts saying, my whole world is about to change real fast, and it's because of a step that I'm taking, not because something that somebody pushed me in or anything. I didn't feel like I was being rushed. Because that feeling of rushness is an energy, a presence as well to me. So I was like, I don't feel rush or pressure or anything. So once I felt like that, I said, okay, it's time to go in. So I had the cup like this. And then I still freaked out a bit. I was like, I kept it in my mouth. I didn't swallow. I swallowed the first one, and then I took another one. I was like, I don't know. So then I said, no. I just kept... I was like coaching myself. I was really coaching myself. I was really there for myself. And the mushrooms was there too. The mushrooms was definitely there. and we was hashing it out. We was like, we're going to deal with all of this now. No music, no lights, no getting up to try to just paint or walk around or do anything. I just wanted to sit there no matter how uncomfortable it felt. And it got very, very, very uncomfortable, but it got very awesomely, pleasantly as well. So let's keep going into this. So now we can start getting into the actual trip. I started taking it. I started sipping, and I didn't smoke. Beforehand. I didn't. While I was taking the sips, usually I like to smoke. But I said, no, that's the thought Terrence McKenna had, or that's the thought that something had. Because I've been experiencing not smoking that much during the like afternoon hours. So I see how much calm it is. Or I don't know, it's a difference I'll talk about another time. But I didn't want to do it. So I was just sitting there with whatever thought was there. And it was coming at me. It was coming at me. So the come up, I was starting to think of I don't know. It was during the come up. It was during the come up stage. I started feeling the body load, and during this whole time too, I didn't have any. I couldn't tell if I really had any open eye visuals because I had my eyes closed the whole time. Like at most, I'll just open my eyes for a little bit. I'll see fuzzy dots a little bit because there's a big light outside that still kind of shine through the window a little bit. But that was about it. I kept my eyes closed the whole time. But it kept what I was going through in my head was, or just with closed eyes visual, so to speak, with my eyes closed. It was I'm trying to remember to come up for you guys, but moreover, I kept having the thought that I was dead, or I've been having this thought for a while that I'm already dead, and that I'm cool with that, but just that that thought was just normal. I don't know, just in my field of vision that I'm dead, and that I'm just walking around on Earth, but I'm not really alive and things like that. So getting away from all of those fears. Just during the come up, no matter how long it took, I started getting away from all of those fears that was trying to come up. And I kept addressing them. And saying, all right, you want to come up? Like I was saying before, I was just addressing a lot. And so then after a while, I was definitely there. It was a lot of points where I was there and then I was here. Like I was there, but like you ever wake up suddenly out of a dream? That's how it felt like. It felt like I kept doing that in and out. I did that at least like I don't even know, innumerable times. And like one moment I'll be somewhere, then I'll wake up. But then I would like have the jitters and things, like something just dropped me back off on Earth. That's what kept happening. Kept feeling like every time I opened my eyes, like once this what would happen. This how it was. It was at the beginning it was a cycle of me. I would have like jitters, like just like pre-flight jitters and things like that. But once I go through all of that, I was able to. I don't know, something. I just blacked out. I guess you say just blacked out, or just went to where I wanted to go, or I just forgot. And and then when it would feel like it was a lucid dream, because I have lucid dreams all the time. So it's like, all right, I'm there, I'm cool, I'm finally calm. And then it felt like I was tripping. It didn't feel like anything was going on, but it felt like I was somewhere else. It's just I can't remember right now. But then when it was over though, it would feel like I would start feeling the stomach or something like that again, and then I would start breathing like, and I was just like breathing it like, just sitting there heavily again. I was like, all right, let's take some smoke. So let's just smoke a bit, And also, so that's what kept happening. Also, I started doing yoga. I did some yoga during the sessions. I mean, during the sessions while I was going through this experience. I did some back bends, and what that did was it calmed my anxiety down, because it brought me back to awareness of my body, of saying, all right, this is what's going on, and things like that. When things was getting a little too when it wasn't really the thoughts getting to me, but just how my body was feeling. And then once I would go do the position, those thoughts and that body and those thoughts that was accompanying that me breathing heavily just like went away, because I was focusing on my arms being straight, or my back cracking and things like that. And it was another thing about yoga. I did a thought started coming to me about my little brother and my mom and things like that. And at first, at another part of this trip, I was like, oh man, I don't want to deal with that right now. Like, that's not what this trip is about. This trip is not about me thinking about the daily things that I think about. And then it kept coming to me. The way that I combated that was by saying, I already know. I know. And because it was like something was trying to mess with me, like saying, yeah, this is going on, bro. They going through this and this, and I found myself getting warped into that for a bit. But then I kept saying, no, this is not what I want to focus on right now. And I kept asking questions about the pyramids. I kept saying, the pyramids. What about the pyramids? I want to know about the pyramids. I want to know about the stars. What about the stars? What's going on with the stars? I just kept like talking, like, what's going on with the stars? And and then I was asking a lot of questions. The gang of questions I was asking, like, where should I go with the Just Tai? Where is Just Tai going? Or I was just throwing gangs of questions at it, because I wanted to guide the trip. I wanted to be the guide to the trip. I didn't want to like go through things, but in that respect. So that worked out, and I just kept getting flashes of it was an old YouTube video that came to my mind now, of where they was talking about the pyramids, and the YouTube video actually came to my mind about the pyramids during the trip. And then I was like, that's just about electricity though, but it had to be something more. Let me get the story. Alright guys, yeah, sorry for the cuts, but we're gonna keep it up. So so if you hear some repeating stuff, eyes are sorry. But yeah, going off of that last clip I heard talking about the pyramids, I kept going in trying to get a lot of answers, and a lot of questions that I asked in the beginning of the trip was starting to be revealed towards the end of the trip, or just throughout the trip. And some cool things. Oh, one cool thing that happened. Well, a lot of cool things. Something that happened in Vision store, and like in the Vision, I was shown how how it was. I'm just tell you how it was in my head, and this is not a description or explanation of what was happening, just a visual, just a picture. But it was stories. It was a bunch of stories that existed, but it was a bigger part of what was actually going on. And we all hear it all the time of saying like, live your own story, or we're living somebody else's story or something like that. But I had this whole picture in my head that this was all a story, that all of this that we all see, everything that we doing is all a story. Even the road that I'm choosing to go by and stuff is a story. It's all just a story. And it's somebody telling the story. It's somebody telling the story, and it's somebody that already told the story. But it's so much more that's going on, actually. So the picture was, I just saw these, it had the word like stories kind of written on too, or just son like books. It was, to me, it was just a bunch of books just crowded in like a black space, and then it was something over top of it, and then but I was somewhere else, being able to look at all of that. And it was something about me being able to attach to whatever was looking at both of that I had a sense that, I don't know if it was right or I don't know, whatever, right or wrong, but I just had the sense that my story's been edited or something like that. That my story's been edited, and that is not like how it was. It's like how it was written. I'm tying too much right now, but how it was back then, it was like how I was able to edit my story. And but a lot of the earth where I'm at is people living. We're living. I exist in a place where a story is already written, so to speak. So that was pretty wild. And then I would just get shot back, and like I said, every time I come back, I would start getting the jitters and everything. But I wasn't playing. I keep repeating, I wasn't playing no music or anything. I wasn't getting up or trying to distract myself. I kept telling my mind that no, you're gonna sit. That no, you're not doing anything. You don't exist, so to speak, or that you exist, but it's time to dissipate. It's time to dissipate. And a wild thing during the trip was I started hearing the music. I heard a lot of different music myself, and I wish I could recreate it, but I guess that'll come with time, I suppose, in whatever shape or form. But it was music. It was music. It's just that it's like I'm describing it's like how I always say, it's like I'm describing a dream. That's why I like describing dreams and writing down my dreams, because it's so like these experiences that I have. But I heard after all the music that I'm trying to so yeah, guys, after I got past the music and things like that, what I started to hear was the whopping sound. I heard the whopping sound after going through claiming mistake and like fishing through a lot of stuff. I started hearing the and it was there. So I was like, all right, and it wasn't even like, all right, this is it. It was just like that. It was just occurring. It was just that's what was happening. And then, guys, a lot of y'all not, is that I heard, shout outs to the fam, I heard True Life voice, and I saw an essence of him. It wasn't really his body, so to speak, but it was the essence of him. It was a host of other things too, but I can't remember. It was really a real big lucid dream once that sound occurred, and it was really it was loud. It was loud, guys. It's the first time I actually heard it that loud. I never experienced that for myself. I recreated it in my head before, but I never heard it that loud and distinct. So then once that lucid dream was over, I just woke back up on the floor like, oh, that's when it came to me like, oh, that actually occurred. It was like I just woke up in the morning again. Like I said, I kept going back into it, and this happened with these psychedelics. You feel as though you out of it, and sometimes you go back in, and then you seem as though you out. But during the out things, I wasn't walking around or not, so I'm just gonna stay here. So that's what was happening. It was it was a lot of me going in and out of different dimensions and asking a bunch of questions and getting the answer, and then getting the answer taken away from me. And it was at one point in the beginning where I had the thought of that it wasn't time yet, or that something wasn't prepared for this yet, and that's why it was taken back away. But that's in the beginning. I don't even remember what. Well, of course I don't remember what that thought was, but Because that was followed by an extreme thought that I had, an extreme concept, or that I experienced, a concept that I experienced. But it really warped my world, guys. It's really warping my world. I said this happened last night, so it's still probably a part 2 to this, or things just going to start coming up. But just trying to get everything off the membrane right now. It was very roller coaster type ride, and I'm very glad that I experienced it and went through that. And as well, talking doesn't suffice for what occurred. And just it's just awesome, guys. Just awesomeness going on. And it's gonna be coming out through the art. It's gonna be coming out through the art and through whatever y'all see coming out next. But that was my mushroom trip. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you, True Life Stories. Man, just know when dealing with these substances to really be able to let go. And to know that letting go is really not easy. It's not easy. No matter what you're thinking, until it goes on, it's not going on. Put it like that, for sure. Well, experiencing these dimensions is eye-opening. But I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna talk some more about this trip another time.